Hey everyone, welcome back to The Silver Lining here on YouTube, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Sarah and today is Tiny Tidy Tuesday. I am back in my kitchen and dining room because the busier we get and the less often that we are home, it seems like the surfaces in this area of my home become so jam-packed with things. Let me know if you can relate. It just seems like if we're busy and on the go, this is the dumping ground. And if we're all at home for long periods of time, this is the dumping ground. So no matter what, I am always cleaning my kitchen. Before we start today's Tiny Tidy, I'm going to pour myself a coffee and take a moment to decide what my intention is for this space. Thanks for being here. Now let's jump into it. Regardless of if you are just watching the playlist or if you are tidying along with us or looking for some inspiration today, we are glad you're here. Tiny Tidy Tuesday is an open collaboration playlist. It's hosted by my sweet friend Sunday Dawn. Her channel is The Helpful Home, which is linked in my description box below. You'll also find this week's Tiny Tidy playlist with tons of motivation and inspiration to get tiny tasks ticked off your to-do list this week. I'm cleaning around a couple of interesting items here. My daughter is in finals week at her school, and so we have a couple of projects that were assigned to her instead of taking a final exam by some of her teachers. So she did a little bit of building, a little bit of baking, and that's also been happening in the kitchen because the kitchen is truly the heart of the home. My younger daughter has been working on some projects as well. You may recognize this cart. This is actually the art cart that my youngest daughter and I worked on decluttering and getting it organized in my very first Tiny Tidy. This cart has worked so well for what we're using it here in the kitchen to keep all of her supplies and craft items tidied up and together. So if you're interested in seeing that video, I will link it at the end of this video and in my description box, so you can check that out if you want. I hope that you are finding time in this busy time of year to take some time to just relax. I have found myself feeling very overwhelmed and emotional some days, and I'm not sure if it's because of the number of things I feel like I need to do or the timing that I feel like I need to get it done in, if I'm actually busier than I have been in other years, or if it's just a weird space after having a couple of years where we were kind of off, or if it's something unrelated and personal. Whatever the case may be, if you're feeling the same way, leave me a comment down below and let me know. I've talked to several people over the past few weeks that have kind of said the same thing, that they can't really put their finger on it, but they have sort of been feeling that sense of overwhelm. And it's not necessarily that the to-do list is too big. It's just that there is so much more going on than there has been over the past couple of years. These are some big, deep thoughts for a Tiny Tidy Tuesday, but I just wanted to share in hopes that you find a little bit of comfort. If you're feeling the same way, you are not alone. My encouragement to you is the same that I keep telling myself, and that is just keep moving forward. Get one thing finished at a time, one foot in front of the other. Do your best at it. You're doing a good job. Merry Christmas to me! My husband and I actually stopped exchanging gifts several years ago when we started doing the Dave Ramsey 7 baby steps. So every now and then there are things that we end up purchasing this time of year, and maybe it's something like this faucet that we don't necessarily need to get to before the holidays, so we'll probably wrap that up and put it under the tree. But we had made the decision back those years ago. I think we did that workshop, that program, in 2013. So back then we had just decided that we would use the extra money to spend on our girls, who the 2 older girls were quite a bit younger then. So that was a decision we made. I'm curious if you exchange gifts with your significant other or your spouse. Let me know in the comments. It could be something that we eventually go back to, exchanging gifts with one another, but for these years that we're in the throes of parenthood, and kids are darn expensive, so this is what we do for now. I don't know if any of you guys follow the Minimal Mom. She seems to be popular amongst women like me of the same phase of life or age, juggling parenthood and all the things. But a few months back, probably about 6 months or so ago, another tiny tidy that I did was I'd cleaned out my cabinet that has all of our containers, like leftover containers, Tupperware containers, that kind of thing. And I matched everything up with its lid and decided that I would store everything with its lid. And that's something that she says to do because it takes up more room that way. So you end up maybe keeping less. And plus, it really helps you see what you have. So I started doing that back when I did that video, like I said, like 6 months ago. And I have stuck with it. And even my husband said that he really likes the way that it works for our kitchen, for our household too. So just a little side note, as you see me putting this away, some of the smaller containers I actually do still stack in this drawer, and this is more for just smaller containers that would kind of get lost in the bigger cabinet. So anyway, I'm curious how you store your containers, what works best for you in your kitchen. As I finish up on my countertops and wipe down the microwave and the dishwasher, I just want to give you a gentle reminder that the holidays are not easy for everyone. There's a lot of overwhelm going around, It can be sad for some people, and I just want you to give yourself some grace. Accept the things that you can't change and just put one foot in front of the other. As always, thank you so much for being here and watching. I hope that you give me a thumbs up before you leave. It helps out my channel a lot. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, what you're tidying today, and let me know that you're giving yourself some grace this holiday season. Be sure and hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss a future video of mine. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.